everyone. Welcome back to the Steppedup podcast. I'm really excited to have you on the call. And today I'll have with me an amazing speaker, an amazing guest. She is a guest we have had before on this podcast, and she was sharing with us about her cancer journey, about her journey combating and fighting cancer. Trust me, it's not easy to fight any terminal illness. If you go ask people that are fighting hypertension, people fighting diabetes, people fighting any terminal illness, as long as there is no cure. Look at people that have HIV. There are so many of them that you don't even know. You don't even know they have HIV, and they are battling with it every day, trying to stay at the top of their game. Cancer is one very big monster that is not actually easy to even fight. Trust me. There are so many people that cannot handle living with cancer for 1 year. They go into depression, they commit suicide or what have you. Or they live in countries of low socioeconomic status where nobody cares, nobody sends you, even their family may not care, and then they just give up and they even die inside before the disease kills them. I'm going to be having with me an amazing guest today, and her name is Mrs. Akinade Olufunmilayo. She's in fact, if there's any other word that is more than amazing, she has a very large dose of God's grace upon her life. And trust me, I covet that grace because she is a Christian. She's one that has held on to God, and fighting this disease has not been easy, but God has been her strength. So welcome with me, Ms. Akinade. Welcome back to our podcast series. We are happy to have you once again. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Ma. Thank you so very much for having me on this podcast. And I'm glad and honored to be your guest.
Thank you so much. I don't know if you have any background knowledge about cancer, but please, if you don't, please do well to watch the first video because she shared a lot of details in that video. And this video is actually a continuation from the first one. She'll be sharing with us her journey after she went back for testing and she discovered that there were cancer cells in her body, and then she needed to begin a brand new journey. Ms. Akinade, please share with us what was your initial reaction and how did your family handle the news? How was your first month dealing with this monster? How did it go? Please share with us.
For the first 6 months, it was even more than a month. For the first 6 months, I was in denial. I didn't even want to accept that it is cancer or anything to do with that. But after the first 6 months of denial, I went back again to the clinic. I was tested. By this time, it's changed from stage 2. It was now in stage 4 with a metastasis to some parts of the body, to the spine, to the bone, and to the lungs. I had pleural infusion by then. So I had no choice than to commence the chemotherapy I denied and I ran away from earlier. So I took 8 circles of paclitaxel and epirubicin, 4 circles each, 21 days interval, and by the end of 2020,
you had 4 circles of chemotherapy?
I had 8, 4 circles of each. Yes,
wow.
I had 8. Yeah. 4 of epirubicin and 4 of paclitaxel, making 8 circles total. It came with its own complication. There are days that I could not even tolerate it. All I could feed on was just water. I couldn't tolerate any food, and none was even able to go down my throat at all. Within the next 2-3 weeks, I will be back again for my treatment, for my chemotherapy drugs, and through it all, I was able to go through. The first 4 was quite the worrisome one. The last 4 I could tolerate. My body was gradually adapting to it now, and I could tolerate it well. By then, I was able to eat a little, at least in between meals, and I was adding a little weight. And I started in August 2020, and by December 2020, I had finished the 8 circles. And from the MRI, then it was discovered that, okay, everything is cleared. And that was why I didn't go through mastectomy, the normal surgery that was done for a breast cancer patient, because the tumor all went down things on its own, and I didn't have to go through mastectomy, and also I didn't go through radiation as well. So I'm one of the lucky ones.
Wow, wow, wow. Do you feel that if you had started, have you felt it or sat down to think that, oh, if I started chemotherapy on time, maybe it would have progressed to stage 4? Have you had that feeling before?
Yes, I had the feeling, and I also had the regret. That's I would remember. I remember a particular scene. That was the day I presented again at the clinic, and I was to commence the day I was to commence my chemotherapy. I was there. I was waiting to see the consultant. So I was just watching, see other cancer survivors coming in, going out, taking their chemo and all that, and seeing them bouncing and doing well. So I said to my husband, if only I had started this treatment as well earlier, probably I'll be bouncing like this. And an elderly woman sat down right there beside me, and she looked at me and said, my daughter, never you say that again. That I am looking at her now, she's fine, she's okay, but she is in stage 4 as well. That she had gone through herbal medication and did all sorts before she later came for chemotherapy. And even her lump couldn't be operated upon because it is bringing out pus already. It has wound, it has an opening already. That I should never say that again, that when I'm coming is the right time. God wants me to come in and take the chemotherapy. That probably if I had taken it earlier, who knows if I would have passed on or died. So that's what stood with me, even right taking my chemotherapy, because if I had started earlier in the facility that I was diagnosed, probably I wouldn't have made it. But by the time I was starting the chemotherapy treatment, I was in another facility with better oncology team, with better knowledge, and I was able to ask questions. I was able to, so with their help and support, I would say I had the best care, and I had the best team taking care of me. I could remember the first oncology doctor that attended to me. I think some days after the diagnosis, after knowing that I was still be embarking on the chemotherapy, I was down, I was just demoralized, and she walked up to me. She said, God just instructed her to come in and talk to me. She was still single, Dr. Shane. So she said, I'm looking at her now that she's a doctor, but she wants to talk to me like my younger sister, like female woman to woman now. That I shouldn't look at myself that cancer is the end of the world. That now she's a doctor, she's diabetic, because both her parents are diabetic, and she has that gene as well, and she's managing that. And I think some weeks before then, she said she has the news that she's going to live with insulin for the rest of her life. That being a doctor, that she's battling with that after all, she doesn't have cancer, but yes, she has to battle with that every one of us, every individual, has one thing or the other, battling and confronting he or she. That I shouldn't look at myself that having cancer is the end of the world, or the worst report I could ever have gotten. That we all have one thing or the other calling for our attention, and which we will live for the rest of our life. That I should just brace up my mind and live for my children and live for my husband, and I should come out stronger after that. And those words stood with me, because each time I want to break down, or each time I want to give up, I look at all our effort in fighting for me, because she really fought for me those periods. She went as far as fighting my insurance company that they must cover my chemotherapy treatments. And that was a huge, because that played an important role in me getting the best care and the best treatment I could have gotten then.
Oh God, this is really marvelous. Do you know I didn't want to ask this question? Sincerely, I didn't want to ask it. I had something that was pulling me back. But I just said, no, for God to bring this inspiration, let me ask it and see. Because I'm working on eggshells right now. Even in the first video we had, it came with a lot of pride, because I didn't want you to feel uncomfortable. There are so many people that they don't feel comfortable sharing their story and letting the world know that this is what they are fighting. Like, it's not really a good place to be, especially if that story had made you cry, if it had made you depressed or feel bad several times, that drained your finances, that caused some rifts between you and your loved ones and something like that. As long as some emotionality is attached to it, I feel uncomfortable. Okay, I don't even know what I want to ask. Just even telling me friends of yours. Okay, so I heard about that going through a hard time, and I find it difficult to really bring up the issue of fundraising for discussing them may even make the person about what you have said. So I really appreciate the fact that you even decided to share this much, because also trust me, everything you said over the past 2 minutes has been, and you really doesn't seem to say like it's actually administration. What brought about what led to, like you said, all of us have our battles, and like yes, Dr. Shem said, I believe that God really sent out to you to help you through that period. It's actually not a fun one. Please share with us.
Everybody knows, cancer treatment and medication
how has it been since then? How has your journey been? I know about the recent development and
my husband's present employer.
First of all, share with us, how has the journey been since that time
health insurance, and I am out of job. I have not been able to go back to work after the diagnosis since 2020. So he is the only one working. And I've been carried on the wings of the bills for the, because looking back, we can't afford it. I think so I decided, okay, was it 2020? I think it was the end of 2021. So the HMO requested that they need for this an updated account of what care plan I had taken, the medications I have taken, the treatment I've taken, and they need a comprehensive report on it. Jamie, something I've forgotten. So when we requested, which is about 6, it was then I realized, and I'll be going August 2020 medication and end and I'll be taking it was June or thereabouts. So that in 2021, I had spent about 8 million testing in between the, where maybe there's any occurrence, the transportation, the feeding, and all that. So we decided to do a fundraiser to raise money, because we can't afford these bills. That's from our end alone anymore. Thinking and so thinking God, because that's like in my words then I said, what would I have sold to get that kind of amount?
It is because well. I can say that's all I can even say right now.
I had nothing that would have given me that amount to cater for my medical treatments.
And even if that they can also give
I said then that
we'll also share your story
the only thing I would have given up was the house we live in. And I now told my husband, even at that, who would have bought, even when
God
they know that the amount exceeds what we are requesting,
from the beginning,
would they have gladly given us that amount? Because they would know it is needed for something. That is why you are giving it up. Probably they would have told you, I'll be paying you monthly, or I'll be giving you this and this at so and so time, or this is what I can afford. But then the HMO came in and was able to clear these bills, and I was able to accept the care and the treatment I needed at that time. That was grace.
Thank you so much, Mr. Akinade, for sharing.
Only God knows.
I know that this
probably
story will bless a lot and lots of lives. And there are a lot of people out there that don't even have the deals that they are dealing with.
my
they don't have chronic illnesses they are
quarterly
dealing with,
review
and they are here
later
pointing
turned
at
to
God. They
6
go, what
months
I do, you go, what
review
I do. They want to
always
point
show
their
that
finger
yes,
into
I
God.
am doing well. There's no
When they
disease
will read it, when they
progression.
watch
Not
a
up until
story like yours,
2023, March
they will have
2023,
reasons
when
to
I
go
had
back to God and say thank you. Thank
another
you so much for
diagnosis in the
sharing with
left
us,
breast,
and I
because the
believe
initial
that my
diagnosis was on
audience
the
are
right
blessed
breast.
by this
So the second left
video. Please,
breast
if you have not
came
watched
down
the
again
first
with
video,
cancer, and that
please
was
watch it and see the way God has been so good to
hormonal
Miss
So I was
Akinade, the
placed on
survivor
hormonal
of cancer,
medication,
as in the
and also
ultimate cancer
zoledronic
survivor. I
injection
know that you will
monthly
give
to
testimony
sustain the
someday
bone.
that
But as
finally
at
you're
April
free
this
and you
year,
will
when
live
I
to
had
eat
my
the fruit of your labor.
recent
All
MRI,
of the people that have labored on you, your
even
husband,
the
your children,
metastasis to the
your
bone,
family,
lungs,
your friends, your
and
sisters, your brothers, God
spine,
is
the
going to
lower
help them
spine, all
reap
are clear.
the reward
Just
of
the
their
recent
labor upon
reoccurrence
you. You will live long, you
having
will see
in the
your
labor. That
children's
can
children.
only be God.
In Jesus' name,
I was with my
amen. Thank you
oncologist on
so much,
video,
everyone.
and the consultant was
Next
asking,
podcast.
because
Bye.
I came in, it's a new facility I just registered with. So I went, the first day I went alone. So they were asking me, could you please bring in the patient? This was done at 3 intervals, when I want to do my vitals, when I wanted to book in to see the consultant. And even when the consultant called out he called out, Akinade Olufunmilayo, and I said, yes. And he said, oh,
you
please
know
bring
what?
in the patient.
All
And I
the
said,
glory.
sorry, I am
That's
the
why
patient.
everything is
And I
going
have
this
to
way.
ask
So that
him,
we have
this
no
is the third
choice
time
to give
you are the third person asking me this same
you don't give the
question.
glory to
Could you please explain why
you
you
don't give
are
the
all
glory to any
asking me where's
hospital or
the
to any
patient? And he
doctor.
said,
It's due to God.
because from your reports, your medical reports, you don't look like the patient.
Thank you
And
so
I
much.
smiled.
I'll send you the new
I said,
link
well,
of the
welcome to the I am
account,
patient.
the fundraiser.
From your report,
Okay, the other one
you
is not more working.
you should be aided.
It's
You
working, but it's not so. I've
Nobody's
opened a
aiding
wide
you,
donate.
came alone and all that. I went in for a follow-up 2 weeks ago. It was a different doctor. He's asked the same time. I was there with my daughter. He had to ask her again, are you sure this is your mom's report? And she said, she's my mom. I followed her here. That is her name. That is her report. That can only be God. I know of so many that did even have the pleural infusion, no metastasis to the bone, no metastasis to the spine, and they've gone. I am not mocking them, but I can only say God is in my story, and I know He will get this last one as well to the glory.
Omo, this podcast has blown me away. I don't even know what to say anymore. To tell you, God is actually so good. As in, there's no limit to how good we can describe God as, because God has been able to do what we humans could not do, what doctors could not do. I can really imagine what you were trying to say when they said that we are not expecting that you are the patient, because they expected that maybe you be debilitated or somebody will carry you.
I'll be on a wheelchair
On a
and not be
wheelchair
able to go
something. I
or
really
with a
understand.
perforated belly, with a swollen stomach, but I'm not having any of those symptoms.
I pray that your testimony will be permanent and it will only get better and better. It will get better and better. And one day we hear that there is no cancer cells seen. All the people that have been seeing you, they will say, what's happening here? The God you serve introduced me to him. I need to meet this God, because we have been seeing you for how long? Now, and we can't see any. As they'll even send you back for go and recheck again, go and retest, go and do this screening, go and repeat this one, and you keep repeating, and they will see no cancer cells. I know that testimony will come. What money cannot do, God is going to do for you, Mr. Akinade. I really am in the spirit of your story, and I know that God is going to do something amazing with your story.
Yes.
God is going to bring people to him. Jesus will bring people to him, and people will come to the understanding that truly there is nothing that God cannot do. Please share with us in conclusion. We're about to round up. Are there any side effects that you have experienced since you started chemotherapy, and how did you handle them? And also, how did your family cope with supporting you in this season, since this ailment started?
Yes, like every other ailments and medications, they come with the side effects. But just like they come with the side effects, also our morbidity, our underlying ailments, our body structures, and our immunity also play a vital role in fighting these side effects. In my own case, I was always having loss of appetite, nauseating, and sleep disorder, eat flush, and the list is endless. But over time, I've been able to manage the side effects. Once I notice that I am having the symptoms, I just go on. The first thing I do is sleep. I dedicate, like today now, I've not lifted a finger in this house. I've not even eaten by this time. I've been sleeping since morning. And I can do that for weeks. And once I know I have had enough rest and enough fluid and a good meal, I'll be fine. I try as much as possible to do away from pain relievers and all that. I try as much as possible to go the natural way. Maybe taking all the zobo, kunu, all these healthy drinks and foods. Once I can do that, I'll balance my immune system and have enough rest to boost my immunity and all that, and I'll be good. And to my family, I've gotten the best support, especially from my husband. He's been my best cheerleader, and also my children, the most eldest. She has even called while I'm on this podcast now. She makes it a duty. She calls almost 3 times in a day. Mommy, have you eaten? Mommy, are you good? Mommy, are you this? Also, the youngest, the youngest is just turned 13 this week. She understands what cancer is. She will tell you, Mommy, you've not taken your medication. Mommy, are you not going to clinic? Don't you have it? Are you meeting? They know most of my consultants' name. They will tell me, when are you meeting with Dr. So and so? Have you called so and so? You say you want to chat with her. Have you done that? Have you done this? So they are all in the picture. They understand. And even when I'm telling them I can't take this meal, they understand why I can't take it and why we have to change. And we have changed most of our diet in the house, like taking the kunu, the okababa, the guinea corn, mixing and swallow, and we all eat it with joy. They will even tell you, Mommy, it's been long you made your meal. You are joining us in taking our gari and all that. So they understand what the disease is all about and our change of diet and all that. So that makes it easier for me, because even when I want to break down the last report to them, it wasn't so difficult. Because even when they know that I've gone out for a test, they search my phone, because they know I first get the results via my mails and all that. And once they can't get anything from my phone, they start searching. Mommy, have you gotten your report? What does it say? What this? So they know Mommy is battling an ailment, and even when they are praying in the morning, Mommy, heal my mommy. In the evening, whenever they are praying, Mommy, Daddy, Father, heal my mommy. So they even inculcate my healing in their prayers when they are praying. So we are on it together. And also my parents, my younger ones, once they call and my boss is somehow, what is wrong with you? So I have the best support anybody, any cancer survivors can ask for. And that is the best thing, because in as a cancer survivor, the tiniest thing matters. Like you were saying, you don't want to ask some questions that maybe they could be emotional or trigger some emotions in me. That even the tiniest thing at times that you don't think can trigger, I have gone past that level. There was a time that even when my younger ones don't call me for days, I'll be like, you've not asked after me. Do you know what I'm fighting? But over time, I've been able to understand that everybody has one thing or the other that calls for their attention. And I've come to love myself for who I am, and to assess, to know that yes, my happiness depends on me first and not from any other person. And that has given me a shift of mindset and keep me going.
Wow. Mr. Akinade, this has been administration. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Okay, to conclude, I heard and I know about the fundraising. What brought about the GoFundMe, and I heard about the fundraising for your healthcare. I've heard about what you have said about getting support from your family, from your friends. We would also like to support, and we would like to drop a link in the comment section of this video so that other people too can rally around and be of help. What led to this GoFundMe?
Yes, I needed enough fund because just like everybody knows, cancer treatment and medication doesn't come cheap. And with the present place, my husband's present employer doesn't have an health insurance, and I am out of job. I have not been able to go back to work after the diagnosis since 2020. So he is the only one working. And this funding, the bills for the cancer treatment, we can't afford it at this time. So I decided, okay, let us do a donation, a fundraiser, so as to raise money for this treatment, because it is pretty. The care plan is to get Jamie something, I've forgotten the name now, which is about 620 per cycle, and I'll be going, it's a weekly medication, and I'll be taking 8 weeks, 8 cycles. So that is about 8, running into millions, minus the testing in between, or maybe there's any occurrence, the transportation, the feeding and all that. So we decided to do a fundraiser to raise money, because we can't afford these bills from our end alone anymore. So that gave rise to the fundraiser account.
It is well. I can say that's all I can even say right now. It is well. So we are going to actually attach the link of the GoFundMe to this video when it's live, and we will let the public know that they can also give their support. We'll also share your story with persons that can go the extra mile to help you raise these funds. Yes, God has helped you this far, and God has seen the end from the beginning. He has seen everything, how everything will go. Your husband's change of job, the fact that you're not in a job right now, and the fact that the economy in the country itself is not favorable to anyone. But I believe that He that has brought you this far will take you all the way. You've been thriving on eagle's wings. He will continue to carry you on his wings, and this GoFundMe will work. Every strategy we want to put in place will work, and God Himself will take all the glory. Thank you so much, Mr. Akinade, for sharing the story with us. I know that this story will bless a lot of lives. And there are a lot of people out there that don't even have big deals that they are dealing with. They don't have chronic illnesses they are dealing with, and they are here pointing at God. Say, God, what I do you? God, what I do you? They want to point their finger into God's eyes. When they read this, when they watch a story like yours, they will have reasons to go back to God and say thank you. Thank you so much for sharing with us, and I believe that my audience are blessed by this video. Please, if you have not watched the first video, please watch it and see the way God has been so good to Miss Akinade, the survivor of cancer, as in the ultimate cancer survivor. I know that you will give testimony someday that finally you are free and you will live to eat the fruit of your labor. All of the people that have labored on you, your husband, your children, your family, your friends, your sisters, your brothers, God is going to help them reap the rewards of their labor upon you. You will live long. You will see your children's children. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you so much, everyone. See you in the next podcast. Bye.